Good evening, everybody. Here we are, Sunday evening. I hope you had a great weekend. It's almost over, but we've got a little something for you here tonight. We, of course, have our art gallery that is up every month. It changes. We always do an art reception, and that, of course, has changed as well during the current circumstances. But we are moving them all online, so you can still get to meet the creatives, talk to them, find out more about them. And of course, it's live. You can ask any questions you want. Let us know what you would like to know. And tonight we are talking to Jessie Baggs, who has been up for the month of February and March. And it's great to have you on the show. And I'm interested to find out more about you because people have seen the art. They've had questions about the art, the form it's done in. We want to get into that. And there's more to you than just that, too, because you also do comics. So we're going to get into all of that. Thank you for joining us, Jessie.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
So let's start from the beginning. How long have you been doing art?
I started pretty young, probably like 4 or 5. I always enjoyed drawing and making things. So that's probably when it started. And it wasn't until later, like junior high, that I thought, oh, this would be something fun to do as a career. So
now, when you were in junior high and you started thinking about doing it, what kind of stuff were you working on?
That's a good question. I don't know. I wasn't necessarily making comics or anything, but I was doing a lot of drawings based on different things. I was a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan at the time, so I was doing a lot of those kind of drawings. And then later I thought, oh, I want to be a cartoonist. I'd love to make superhero comics, basically.
And you still are a fan of the Turtles, evidently, because you've got Turtle stuff up on your website. So
that's right.
So yeah, that has not changed at all. So then you said you wanted to do this for a living. What form did that take after high school?
So I tried some different things. I ended up becoming more of an illustrator and graphic designer. I was doing that for a little while. I still do that on the side, but it's kind of hard being a freelancer, as I found out the hard way. Like getting clients and making enough to support yourself can be difficult. But I've had some good clients over the years. I've worked for like the state of California. TerraPass is an environmental company that I worked for and had a lot of clients through. More recently, I work for local brewing companies like Track 7 and Tilted Mash.
What did you do for those two?
Basically label illustrations. So when they have different brews coming out, I'll illustrate labels for them. I'm working on one this evening, actually, for Tilted Mash that needs to get done tonight. So up against the deadline there.
That is pretty great. Well, thank you for taking time out then for that. That's got to be a lot of fun too, because I mean, I'm assuming that you are a beer lover as well.
I am not a big drinker, actually. It's funny how that got started, but we're friends with the people who founded Track 7. Mm-hmm. And so that's how that started. And then Tilted Mash got in touch with me more recently, and I started working for them. So.
Okay, well, I'm sure you're not a big drinker, but you probably enjoy a few of the select.
Yeah, they're tasty. Yeah.
You got to at least try the one that your label's on.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's funny with the whole like craft brew thing. Sometimes I feel like maybe I'm the wrong guy to be doing the labels sometimes, but I do like them
because they're reaching out to you. So
that's right.
Clearly you are. Now, this the art gallery up here. Am I correct in remembering that you told me that this was your first like full wall for you?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I've been in some other group shows in the past, but this was my first solo show.
Well, that's great. That's great. Hopefully, when things get back to normal, we'll get you back over here again so we can do an art reception in person and do this, do it accurate. But one of the things we've had a lot of people asking us about your artwork is the form or the style, not the medium, I guess would be the right word of what is it exactly that they're looking at? Because you told me about it and it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. So basically, especially with the newer pieces, so I'll just take like a piece of construction paper, colored paper, usually a lighter color like pink or orange or beige, and I just start doodling on it with colored markers, just kind of whatever comes to mind. And then slowly, as I fill up the page, I'll start to find shapes underneath the doodles as they kind of combined together. And so slowly I look for something to emerge. that's of interest to me. And so all of the pieces on the wall there were made that way, where I'm not necessarily sure what it's going to be until I'm done with it. And so, yeah, you can see this piece here. And you can see underneath the father and the son there, there's lots of scribbles and lines. And that's all from me just kind of slowly building up the drawing until it takes shape and form.
Okay, that is a crazy way to do it, because you have no idea what's coming out. I mean, it's kind of fun
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Even you don't know what the end product is going to be, and so
Yes.
like there was some of these. I mean, here we can see one that is in the process of being completed. I mean, how far in do you know what you're going to be drawing?
Yeah, it depends. So with a few more recent ones, like the one that you were just showing, that one was I was making for my wife, and I had some ideas of, I wanted her to be riding a cat, flying through the air. And so I'll start the process with all the doodles and the sketches, and then I come back in knowing what I want, and I start to draw those shapes. But the underlying doodles and whatnot add a lot of texture and shape and kind of interesting turns I can take as I move along with it. So yeah, I really liked this one. I liked the lightning on the sword. I just couldn't make it work with the final drawing. So
And just more of your changing as you go through it all. Now,
yeah.
on the wall, and we'll talk about this in just a second. There's also different mediums, because you got some pencil and inks up there too.
Yes. Yeah.
I wish I could show it. Do I see it on here? The two in the dead center. What did you use to make those? It's the two big faces.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So those I made using tissue paper, colored
That's
tissue
what we
paper.
thought it was. I was talking with someone, and we were like, "That looks like tissue paper, but it's a bunch of pieces put together to form two images." That's crazy.
Yeah. I'd like to do more of those. I'm not sure where that idea came from, but once I just had some tissue paper available and a heavy piece of paper, and I thought, oh, I wonder if I could put this together in an interesting way to make a face and see what happens. And so that, yeah, the male face emerged first, and then I did the female one a little bit after that.
Okay, that's super interesting. What prompted that? Is that something you'd seen before, or were you just being creative?
I think I must have seen it before. I was going through some old art recently, and I think it was something similar that I had as an assignment in high school.
Okay.
But I didn't make it that way. It was more just, I mean, the piece I did in high school was not very interesting. And so I think I took that idea, but had kind of forgotten about it and thought, well, let's just make it almost like a mosaic and glue the different pieces and colors on and see what happens.
Well, it turned out really well, and it is something to actually talk about, because yeah, when you look at it and you realize it's not just on paper, then the questions start popping up. And you guys will, when you're in the shop, you'll know which one it is, because they're dead center, and it's the two headshots of a man and a woman. Yeah. So definitely go take a peek at those and see how he did it. But back to the pencil and inks, when did you first start creating your own comics?
Yeah, so I was at Sac State when I started going to school there. I just went to to the school newspaper and said, I'm interested in being a cartoonist. I had been working in ink and pencils, but not a ton. That was really how I started to figure it out. And then slowly over time, I kept working with pencils and inks and started making more and more comics. So what people are seeing on the screen here is the comic I'm doing right now. It's called Slagel. I call it a funny animal noir because it's about funny animals like Mickey Mouse or the Looney Tunes characters, but they're in this really dark and kind of jaded universe. So the underlying concept is kind of like if people remember from the 1960s in the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, they would sing, Mickey Mouse, and then Donald Duck would say, no, Donald Duck, and he wanted to get in there. So the idea of this world is that kind of the natural goodness of Mickey Mouse has been subverted by someone with Donald Duck's anger problems and emotional issues. And so this society has been taken over by these evil ducks, and mice are kind of secondary citizens in this universe. And then even below the mice are the dogs, because even in the old Mickey Mouse cartoons, it was kind of weird where Mickey had a dog, Pluto, but then at the same time he was friends with Goofy. who wasn't as smart and kind of less developed.
I never really thought about that, but yes, that makes perfect sense. Now, where can they find these? They can just go to your website, correct? jessebags.com?
Yes. And I really need to drop some off at your store too.
Yes. Oh, so you actually have them printed. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. The first issue is printed. The first issue is kind of a compilation issue. I have a few different stories in there, and I'm working on the second issue right now.
That's perfect. Well, that is what you guys need to go check out. You need to look at his art on the wall here. You need to take a peek at his website, but you need to check out those comics, because those kind of things are a labor of love. And, it's really nice to check out what people are creating and what they're doing. So go check out jessebags.com to find out that. Look at his art here on the wall. Well, thank you for joining us tonight, Jesse. It was great talking to you. We do have one more question for you. This is the most important question of the evening, and we always save it for last. Which do you prefer, traditional ice cream or soft serve?
I think traditional ice cream. I don't know. I don't have a lot of soft serve. Yeah.
It didn't seem like there was a correct answer to this, but there was, and that was it.
Okay.
So thank you
passed
very
the test
much.
Then.
Yes, you did. Guys, check him out online. Take a peek at the art gallery when you're in the shop. And then when things get back to normal, we will have him back and we'll do this proper so you can come down and meet him. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day tonight, and you enjoy your week, sir.
All right. Thanks.